What's up today, my fellow Madden soldiers? So what I'll be getting into right now is a new defensive superstar X Factor abilities that EA actually released today, and it's showing which players will actually get them and the actual newest superstar X Factor abilities that EA is going to introduce into Madden 21. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. As you could tell already by looking at this, you see Calais Campbell, Cameron Jordan already get X Factors you're already familiar with, right? One of the newest ones that we'll see right now, which is Aaron Donald, right? He's going to get a blitz one that we haven't heard about. That's actually going to be barely introduced into Madden 21. So let's go ahead and see what actually that is about. We're going to go ahead and click on right here. And let's go. So here it is right here. This is the bio of it, and then we'll actually get into the actual ability and what it takes to activate it. So it says the most dominant defender in the NFL today. Aaron Donald is a true game wrecker. Effective D-line captains like Aaron Donald aren't just examples to follow, they are motivators. When he enters the zone, all opposing blockers have their resistance bars wiped out. So this is what they're saying about it, right? That card art is insane, right? Shout out to Conrad Xavier for making it. Hopefully they introduce it into the game, because we would love to have it. Let's go ahead and click on it and see what it takes to activate it. So you see right here it says blitz, defensive line motivators. That's what is basically the definition of it, I'm assuming. Zone. So okay, this is what it is. On-field blockers have their resistance bar wiped out, right? To trigger it, right, to basically get it activated, two defensive line sacks. So basically has to get 2 sacks. Knockout, 1 down played. So this is called on-field blockers have their, this is what it is. On-field blockers have their resistance bar wiped out. So what I'm assuming is, if it's activated, that means that no one's going to be able to defend it, and then Aaron Donald's going to run right through and get a sack. And honestly, in my opinion, what I think that when it comes to Unstoppable Force and these other X Factors that we've seen, I won't say that when they were activated it automatically worked, but what I will say is that certain players, when you seen it, when you seen them out there playing, when it comes to abilities like edge threat and stuff like that, you seen them coming in pretty fast at times, right? When it felt like certain defenders had their resistance bar, it felt like that already. So EA is basically just telling us that we're gonna do this, and this is what we're calling it. But I feel that when you guys were playing Madden 20, you guys seen that edge threat elite or edge threat, and so forth. You've seen not every single play that he was coming through, but they came through quite a bit, and it felt like that's what it was. It felt like the resistance bars were wiped, right? So even though this is a new one and they're actually telling you what it is, I felt that this was actually happening in Madden 20 either way. So that's one thing that I actually want to put out there real quick, because I felt that it was actually happening either way, right? Okay, so when it comes to 2 defensive line set, okay, when it comes to 1 down played, so I'm assuming that because once this X Factor is actually activated, the resistance bar is going to be wiped out, so automatically the defender's going to come in. I don't see, so basically after the first down it's going to be wiped out, because it's so OP that to where, if it takes like, you have to get 10 yards. You're not going to be able to get no yards if this guy's coming in right away. It's going to be very hard, right? You might be able to, but I think it'll be a little bit harder. So I think that after the first down play, like I said, it's going to be basically, you're going to have to be basically reactivated, which is not too bad, but it's going to be a little bit insane. So that's what it's saying about that. So let's go to the next one. Okay. So we'll go back to defensive ones. Okay, so here's the other one, right? Here's Calais Campbell. We know what run stuffer is. We're not going to go into details about that. We already know what that is. Cameron Jordan is going to get Unstoppable Force. Chandler Jones will get Fearmonger, right? Which we're ready to know. We got Chris Jones coming with Momentum Shift. Daniel Hunter coming with Unstoppable Force. DeMarcus Lawrence coming with Unstoppable Force. So what I would like to say right here is that these are X Factors we already know that they're already talking about, that these guys are actually getting. The only thing that I would take out of this when it comes to you guys knowing, like, okay, what's this information useful for? The reason why it's useful is because it's letting you know which players will actually get these superstar X Factors, and kind of like in a sense which players won't, right? because we actually know for sure that DeMarcus Lawrence, Daniel Hunter, and Chris Jones will have these superstar X Factors abilities, so you're guaranteed to have those. However, what I want to add too though is, even though it's saying that they're getting these superstar X Factor abilities, I'm pretty sure there's other superstar X Factor abilities that they might get later on too. I'm pretty sure like someone like DeMarcus Lawrence and Daniel Hunter will probably get something like Blitz, but they'll probably be introduced later on, especially when you play most likely they're going to end up getting those actual abilities. So I would like to say that real quick before we continue on, right? Because that would make more sense. Just like you see right now in Madden 20, that a lot of these players, they actually get more than one superstar X Factor if you want to activate them. So I just wanted to say that real quick. Let's go over here. As you can tell right here, you have Fletcher Cox. He's going to get Fearmonger. You have JJ Watt, which is going to get Relentless. And you have Joey Bosa, which is going to get Unstoppable Force, right? So the newest one, which is going to be this one, Relentless, is we're going to go more into detail right here. But before I continue on, I want to tell you guys right now that EA so far that I'm going to tell you guys is that Blitz and Relentless are the two newest ones that they actually came out with. So just so you guys know that to keep in mind. But let's go ahead and see what this well, let me read you guys off one more, because there's another player to actually get Relentless, as you can tell right here as we're coming up, and then we'll read his off. But let me finish this off. You got Khalil Mack coming in with Unstoppable Force. You got Myles Garrett coming in with Unstoppable Force. You got Nick Bosa coming in with Relentless. I'm gonna read you that off right now. We got one more, and I'm gonna read you what Relentless is. And we got TJ Watt coming in with Unstoppable Force. So like I said, we already know what those are. I'm pretty sure a lot of these other players are going to get a lot of these other X Factors later on, or even in the start of the game, they might have other X Factors available to them. But let's go ahead and read off what this Relentless is and what it does. All right. Why is it taking forever to load up? I'll say, so apparently we got to wait for a second. Okay, apparently for some reason it's not loading. Let me back out. Yeah, this ain't making no sense. Let's go back over here. Okay, we're on defense. Let's try this again. So let's try this one, because we just want to read the Relentless. So apparently his wasn't. Okay, here we go. There it is. There. So this is what Relentless is, right? Let me go ahead and read JJ Watt's bio. Employing the Relentless motor and lethal swim move, JJ Watt lives in the offensive backfield. The most tenacious defenders beat their blocks by sheer force of will. Okay. When Watt enters the zone, his rush move attempts are free. So it's basically like in a sense, when Watts enters the zone, his rush move attempts are free. So it's basically kind of like Blitz, right? That's basically what it is, but they're calling it Relentless. That's what I'm assuming. Anyways, so zone, when he's in the zone, his rush moves no longer cost points. I don't know why they said it like that, but the trigger it costs 1 sack or tackle for a loss, knockout, 20 offensive yards allowed. So based on the way they defined it, I would assume that it's similar to Blitz, but it's more lethal, I would assume, because you actually have to get, if your opponent gets 20 offensive yards on you, then you get it. Then it basically deactivates it. However, if he's actually activated and he actually just rushing through in, which I don't know if that's actually how it's going to go through, but if it does, it's going to be kind of hard to get the 20 offensive yards allowed. You can, but I mean, it will take a lot more work, I would assume. But anyways, this is what they're talking about right here when it comes to the Relentless. Like I said, I don't know what this means. Rush moves no longer cost points. I'm assuming that maybe it'll be practically hard to score on you when you have a Relentless activated. That's what I will assume so far. Like, hey, if your defender has Relentless activated on him and he's rushing through, you're not going to be able to get no points on him, because he's going to come in so fast that it's going to be kind of hard to throw off the ball and so forth, right? So that's the only thing that I can see of right now when it comes to this Relentless. And I mean, I hope it actually plays out the way we're assuming it plays out, the way they explain it, because sometimes they say things and they word it a certain way and we have our expectations a certain way, and then when we actually get the game, we're like, okay, well, it's not as OP as you guys are making it seem. But once again, I'm pretty sure the linemen too will also have maybe abilities or X factors, whatever the case may be, they may actually counteract that. So just keep that in mind also, right? So I don't know, but we will find out. Maybe initially they won't, but maybe later on they'll introduce it. But like I said, we'll find out initially. We'll see exactly how it plays out, and I'm looking forward to it. So anyways, that's going to be it for now. I will get into the offensive ones and these other ones that they came out with later. These are the defensive ones that came out with today. So if you guys like what you're seeing, drop a like. If you guys need sub to the channel, there will be more great, amazing content coming your way. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I'm out.